Hi, Joy Feather.
Sunny's taken good care of Joy Feather because I know that Joy Feather had some trouble getting a visa to go to
Yeah,
Italy.
yes, exactly. Exactly. Y'all are in Canada visiting together. And
That's right. And the Canada Goose just delivered it personally. So just flew across the border, all good.
I love it. Yeah. So I'm in Italy and for the next month or so. And I have been realizing that I think it sounds crazy even to me, but I feel like I fit in more here. I am half Italian. That might be part of it. I mean, I've been here a few times before, but I'm really feeling it extra this time, especially because I'm on my way to going nomadic. So I'm looking around for like, where do I feel like I fit? And this is a place, right? So yeah, I fit in here. And I'm just gonna, Bonita, have you ever felt like you fit in better in a certain place?
Oh, absolutely. I actually just got back from visiting my mom in my hometown back in Newfoundland. And I
Hmm.
moved away from there about 30 years ago, but it's still home. So there's a really high level of comfort. I mean, I still have my own room in my mom's house with some of my stuff, things like that. And there's even actually been jobs that I've had that I've just loved once I got the hang of it. Teaching, however, required a few years before I really felt like I fit in and that it was natural. And then it became like an extension of myself once I did. And then I was completely comfortable. But some of these things take some time.
Right, right. I totally get that. I totally understand that. Me too about jobs. So, the current job being helping women to build joy, and that feels like the most me ever. I also another fun thing that I'm just going to turn my sound stuff up for a sec this week, but another thing that I felt really cool about this week, we played this game. I'm here with my daughter, and we played this game called Bus Roulette, which uh, it turns out it's a thing. We didn't make the name up or anything like that, right? But so yeah, it's interesting. It's doing it. You like get on a bus, right? Any random bus, and you get off at random places that look cool or fun, right? It looks like
Okay.
right? So we did it a few times, a few different days. And interestingly, there, I felt like more like me doing it because it was very adventurous and everything. But I also felt like me in my stretch zone, right? It's because it's a
Mm.
little challenging too. Like, okay, where's it going to end up? Is there going to be a bathroom? And, like if I get hungry or thirsty, one of the days I didn't bring a water bottle with me. So, like what's going to happen? So, or what if we like end up not paying attention? We're like way out on a line, way out of the city.
That's what I was thinking. You end up back at the terminal. We're done for the night, ladies. Get off.
Right, right. Yeah. So yeah, it was a challenge, but not beyond the stretch zone, right? Just like the little sweet middle area, not overwhelm kind of zone choices.
Yeah.
So
The
I like that.
growth zone.
The what zone?
The growth zone.
The growth zone. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. So yeah. I think where am I? I'd love to ask the audience out there who's in, what are we calling it? Something land?
Screenland.
Greenland,
Not
right.
Greenland, it's Screenland.
Greenland. Okay, okay. Yes, I wanna ask the audience, what kinds of situations make it harder to be yourself, right? And kind of what helps? Yeah, where do we find it harder to be ourselves? That's the question we have. For me, it's like when people don't seem to get me, right, or seem to think that I'm weird. They don't always tell me that these days, although when I was a kid, they did. Some of them did. and
Yeah,
and
kids are
now
like that.
right, and now I own it really, but then sometimes in certain social settings, it is a little harder to be myself. And then I also remember with social media, when I first got on social media, I used to feel like I had to be performing
Mm.
and I didn't feel like myself. So yeah, what yeah. But how about you, Bonita? What
Well, I
makes
heard
it
this
harder?
quote years ago, and I just love it. It's none of your business what anyone thinks of you,
Mm, yeah,
really.
yeah.
And you know what's funny, Jenny? Sunny never wakes up in the morning and thinks, "Do you think the other little stuffed creatures are going to like me today?"
Yep.
And Joy Feather doesn't wonder if feathers are fashionable. They don't worry about being too much. They just show up, like Sunny shows up as his happy little self. The Joy Feather just flies around, reminding us to be joyful. And
Mhm.
somehow we humans make being ourselves into a full-time project. The Joy Feather reminds me that not to become somebody different, not to improve myself into existence, just to notice who I already am when I'm not busy judging every move. Because maybe being yourself isn't something you achieve, maybe it's something you stop interrupting.
Right. Keep going, keep flowing. I love it. Yeah. Yeah.
Grand thoughts.
Yes, grand thoughts. So yeah, and in Screenland there, yeah, what kinds of situations make it feel harder to be yourself? Like, do you run conversations over and over in your head? I relate to that one. Are you, like worrying that what you did or said was wrong? Are you kind of always second guessing yourself or feeling misunderstood a lot or like nobody seems to get you? And yeah, like it can be painful, right? It can be painful. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I mean, if you're in a stressful situation, automatically you're off balance. It does make it more of a challenge. And especially like after the traumatic brain injury that I had to deal with, I became so aware of my speech because I had been a radio announcer and a teacher and actress and stuff before that. And speech was extremely important.
Yep.
And I lost that.
Mhm.
So I used to rehearse potential conversations so I would have the vocabulary and pronunciation ready if those words or concepts were needed.
Yeah.
It was absolutely exhausting. And then when I started recording the Wild Wander and Wonder videos, all those worries showed up again. I'd
Yes.
wonder if I said the wrong thing, maybe forgotten a word, rambled too much, or maybe if my mouth went offline. That's what I call it, when it would get garbled.
Yep.
And it still happens. I mean, it's years since the accident, but it still has a lingering effect and it can affect my speech.
Yep.
So I'd replay conversations and videos in my head. And what I eventually realized was that I was spending so much time evaluating myself that I wasn't fully experiencing the moment anymore. I mean, what a
Yes.
waste of time.
Mhm. Yep. So, I mean, you have with the TBIs, traumatic brain injuries, you had, kind of even more extreme, reasons. I'm putting this in big, huge air quotes to like second guess yourself, and yet you really made a choice to not do that, to like let yourself be yourself, and I love it. I admire it so much. So yeah, last episode you helped us notice tiny wins, right? And so today we're going to offer another antidote to all that, second guessing, all of that feeling like we don't fit in and just allowing ourselves to be ourselves. One way to set ourselves up for that is something that I'm calling very straightforwardly just noticing. It doesn't have a fancy name today. It's just noticing, right? We're going to practice a couple of ways to do that. So oh, I did it. Yeah. Okay. So I'm having some tech stuff today. I'm in a whole other place. I'm not used
Well,
to
written in Italian.
there. Wait. There we go. Okay.
That's right.
So yeah, there's a reason that I wanted to bring up this mechanism for being with ourselves and allowing ourselves to be ourselves, and it's because most of us, it's a whole cultural thing, have this really bad habit that we don't ever talk about in most circles, right? And that is a habit of constant analysis, judgment. Sometimes it takes the form of actual judgment and having an opinion about just everything. And Bonita, you too, I'm sure we're all, me too. Part of, I do this. It's a cultural habit. Our brains get going and we have to like, that is good and that is bad.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when we are assigning that kind of judgmental meaning to everything, even if we're not feeling like we're being judgmental, if we're having if we're assigning some kind of meaning like that to everything, then nothing ends up having any meaning. So yeah, what do you think about that, Bonita?
Exactly. And it takes the fun out of life. I mean, my goodness, when I was a teacher, I used to see this all the time. A student would get 19 out of 20 correct. All right. 19 out of 20. That's a pretty good mark.
Yeah.
Do you think they'd come running up and going, yay, miss, look at me. I got 19. No. They wanted to know about the one that got away, the one they got wrong. And honestly, adults, we're not much different. We can have 10 people around us who totally appreciate us, love us, understand us, and support us. Then one person doesn't get us.
Yep.
And suddenly that becomes the whole story inside of our little head.
Mm-hmm.
And what that judgment does is it zooms in and just noticing that you're doing that zooms out.
Yeah.
So we can get that whole picture again and see it's not as bad as we think it is.
Yep.
Go for
Yeah.
that 19 out of 20. Don't worry about that one.
Right, right. I mean, if you want to learn, I know if I want to learn, I do want to know about what that one thing
Yeah,
is for learning purposes, right?
exactly. But not for beating yourself up. My
Right. Not
goodness,
for like I
19
did.
out of 20? Wow.
Yeah, like it's not about having done something wrong or something like that. And
Yeah.
then yeah, I noticed even for me, even like judging something as good can be a slippery slope, right? It's I don't know. I no examples coming to my mind right now. Maybe it will before the end
Oh,
of the
I
episode.
can give you some.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because like
Ooh, are we
yes,
frozen?
I was very high performing in so many things,
Mhm.
and I still didn't think I was good enough.
Mhm.
6 university degrees?
Yep.
Yeah, a little chronic overachiever in me, right?
Right.
Then the accident happened, and now I had to be grateful that I could walk, that
Right.
I could speak,
Yeah.
that I could take care of myself again, and that was a slow, slow, slow process.
Yeah.
But man, I appreciate things now. It gives
Right.
you a whole different perspective on life.
Right. So yeah, you felt like, oh, I'm looking for the comments here. Oh, here it is. I haven't even, nope, none yet. So I, yeah. So yeah, if we're thinking all the time, if we are thinking something's good, then opposite is, oh, well, if it's not this way, it must be bad.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's a
Yeah,
slippery
it's all or
slope.
nothing thinking is so, so
Yeah.
difficult on your psyche,
Hmm.
especially if you're judging yourself. I could tell you another little story about teaching that goes along
Yeah.
those lines. I had this girl that was hiding out in the hallway outside of my classroom,
Hmm.
and I went outside the door, like, "What's going on?" She said, "I got a pimple on my nose, and everybody's gonna laugh at me."
Hmm.
I said, "Oh, come on. They don't even know you have a nose. Come on in."
Right. Right.
And she got through the whole day, and at the end of the day, I said, "So how was it?" She said, "You're right. They didn't even know I had a face."
Uh-huh. Awesome. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, yeah, we're going to do a little meditation today and then a little dare later. We can't forget
I'm
dare or
ready.
dare. There you go. Right. Hey, that's the Italian version of
That's
the
right. Italian meditation.
right. Okay. So, this is to help you just notice, help us just notice. Look for one thing that's nearby you, that's just doing its job by being itself. Some examples could be a clock ticking, or the light coming through the window, or your phone. Most of us have our phones nearby and they're just being themselves, right? That's what they're doing. So, just for a moment, as we start our meditation, we got this funky little graphics here. Just for a moment, sit with that thing, whatever it is. And maybe even by the end of it, imagine that you are it. So, start communing and being with that thing that's nearby you, that's just doing its job by being itself. Notice what it does to be itself. Does it do anything? And what kind of qualities does it have? Light, sound, color, technology. Yeah. Just sit with it. Notice it being itself. Okay. And now imagine a little bit that you are that thing. Whatever qualities you noticed about it, just imagine being that yourself. Just notice that, what that would feel like. All right. And now, as you are finishing that, set an intention as you move forward with your day to just notice yourself in the same way that you noticed that thing that you were noticing doing its job by being itself. That's all you have to do to notice is be yourself. Okay. All right. And we're going to move right into our dare or dare game. And we're going to go for this really quick because it's a 2-minute joy rebellion. We're going to do a dare all at once for all of us. And I'm not even going to explain it because that would get our brains into thinking mode. We might try to analyze it, and that would really defeat the purpose. Okay, you ready? No thinking. Ready? No judging. Ready? Just noticing. Do something joyful right now with your hands that makes 0 sense. All right, go. Do it. I'm going to do mine off camera because I'm not going to influence you. I'm doing mine off camera. Something joyful with your hand. Doesn't have to make any kind of sense to you. Just feels joyful. Doesn't matter why it feels joyful to you. Doesn't matter what about it feels joyful. Just notice doing it. Okay. All right. This is your definition of joy. It's not mine or Bonita's or anyone else's. Make your hands your kind of joyful. All right. Notice what they're doing. Now start to notice how you're feeling, just how you feel. No good or bad. There's no good or bad feelings. Doesn't matter. We're not even going to label them right now. Just what does it feel like, right? What does it feel like? It just is what it is. This is what I was doing the whole time. All right. All right. Good job, everybody out there in screen land. Now we're on the replay. Yeah, Bonita, how'd that feel for you? You're joyful.
Like finger yoga meets mini breakdancing.
Finger yoga. What's finger yoga?
Well, it's actually stretch your tendons and things in your fingers, so you don't get arthritis or whatever. You know, it's just stretching them in different positions.
I do some of that after I swim.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. And you said meets mini breakdancing.
Yeah, very mini.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Cool. Okay. So then, yeah, here's a little home play for you. We've been calling this in some of our programs home plays instead of homework, right? Because we're playing, and you know, and work and play can all be woven together. So later today, do the same thing, right? With just a few other parts of your body, like your head or your knees or your butt or your voice. You could do it with your voice. Do the same thing, you know, do what feels like joy to you, to that part of your body, and just notice it. Okay, do it a few more times today for the rest of the day. Set your alarm or your timer. You can put it on your to-do list and, you know, just to note, or your to-do list, right? But it's to-do list, and to just notice what you feel and what choices you might naturally flow into after you're just noticing yourself, right? After you're just allowing yourself and letting yourself be who you are, what you are, and letting the moment be what it is. Oh, yeah.
And along that line, you know what's funny? For years, I thought my problem was that I was just saying the wrong thing. So thinking back to what we were talking about before, and you got to, you know, let your body, let your voice, let your whole being go and just be. We're human beings. We need to be. And I thought that I was saying the wrong things. And that, of course, was at extreme levels after the traumatic brain injury. Mm-hmm. I'd sometimes walk away from a conversation and immediately start replaying it in my head. Why did I say that? Why didn't I say this? You ever have an argument like that with somebody? I should have said. Mm-hmm. But you can't go back in time. So you're thinking, oh, great. They probably think I'm weird now, right? And meanwhile, the other person, like I was saying about the nose situation, they probably have gone home and they're trying to remember where they put their keys. That conversation is totally gone.
Yeah.
So I was doing all that judging and evaluating and assigning meaning to every little thing. I wasn't even having conversations anymore. I was performing conversations. And what we're asking you to do with your home play is to perform with your body instead. Don't be inside your head. Mm-hmm. Get it out, move, enjoy, and stop grading yourself while you're living your life. That's exhausting. Because when you're constantly evaluating yourself, you're not actually present, you're not listening, you're not connecting, you're not being yourself. You're trying to manage everyone's opinion of yourself. And the problem is you can't relax when you're doing that. It's like trying to dance while simultaneously judging every step. No wonder we get tired. And that came to my mind when saying the break dancing with your fingers.
Yeah.
The dancing. Can you imagine if you had to evaluate every motion in your body?
Yeah.
How exhausting that would be?
Right.
So stop doing it inside your head with every word that comes out of your mouth. You do have to be careful. You don't want to be hurting feelings and things like that. Yes. But don't be evaluating yourself all the time with every single word.
Yeah. Because performing conversations, you said that phrase earlier. That's one of the things that happens then if we're doing that. And it's not a good feeling. So yeah.
It's like I had a report card running in my head. I'd be giving myself marks while I was talking. I mean, talking.
Yep. Yeah. Like, and so, yeah, that whole effect of always assigning an opinion on everything and deciding something is good and bad we just get stuck evaluating things and judging ourselves and comparing ourselves to others, and then we can't be ourselves, right? So yeah, I second guessing. I did know. I'll just mention one other effect of that happened to me when I was always kind of worrying about saying or doing the wrong thing. It made me feel very tense, right? So then, of
Mm.
course, people would notice that and pick up on it. And that became a self-fulfilling prophecy sometimes, where people, would kind of misunderstand me anyway, because I was sitting there over analyzing and then over explaining outwardly, right? I'd be tense. I'd start to like talk a lot and over explain myself. And yeah, it was a big thing.
And you're right. People can see your shoulders are up, your jaw is tense, and they read that. We're very perceptive. We pick up on it, even if it's not at the conscious level. At the subconscious level, it's there. That's why a room can get infected happy or infected sad or
Yep.
infected angry.
Yep.
So here's a few questions for you along those lines. See if we can draw a little bit more of this out. So when did you first realize that you were editing yourself around other people?
I was well into adulthood when I recognized this. I was really disconnected up until I was in my mid 20s and had my first child. I think that was when I realized it was well, I'm here in Italy with my daughter who's 30 now almost. But yeah, I first realized sort of in response to knowing and wanting to be a strong, confident parent for her. So that was part of that realization, was like, okay, it was the beginning of me knowing, okay, I'm going to be myself. Right. That was the very beginning of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? Kids are so good for that. They make us see ourselves differently and go, oh, all right, I want to make an adjustment because I don't want my child carrying that baggage. So, what would you say that it cost you by doing that?
To edit myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isolation. Like I said before, like it became a self-fulfilling prophecy of people like, just something's wrong here, that she's not acting right, kind of thing. They would notice that I was all twisting myself, but they probably didn't know exactly what was going on in my head, but they could feel it. And yeah, it was very socially isolating to do that, even more so than actually being misunderstood, which of course we all are sometimes too. Would have been, so yeah, even more than that. So, and yeah, that's what I'll say about that.
Okay. So, what would you say to somebody who feels like they're too much or not enough at the same time? Because that's kind of what this is. You're
Yeah.
too much and you're not enough
Yeah, that was the feeling.
in your head.
Exactly. And yeah, what would I say to somebody who feels like that? That nobody, there's no outside thing that we need to measure ourselves against, as far as just general blanket terms like I'm too much or I'm not enough. There's nothing outside ourselves that we need to that we need to that we need to worry about with that. And yeah, and in a moment, we'll give a little bit of another tool that you can use for helping yourself to get to be yourself more. So that's what we got to do.
Right. To just be. And, sometimes, in fact, most of the time, a conversation is just a conversation.
Mhm.
A weird moment is just a weird moment. And somebody having a bad day, that's just somebody having a bad day. Not everything needs a story attached to it. And as you mentioned, when we assign meaning to everything, nothing ends up having meaning.
Right, exactly. It's so true. So yeah, the reason that's the very reason that my Joy Feather and I created what I call the creative burnout quiz, right? And this is a way to just start just noticing. My big term, just noticing. It's should I trademark this thing? Right? Just noticing how you feel about things that are affecting your ability to have what I call creative joy in your life, right? Which is the real joy that helps things move forward. Like, is feeling disconnected from your purpose a big problem? It's creative joy that helps you move forward. Are you having trouble moving forward on projects that you want to do? Are you just exhausted? There's energy in creative joy. It's that kind of joy. So this quiz is going to help you to identify the main thing that you it might be affecting your ability to have that, and it'll point you in the direction of what to target now to help you shift those patterns in your nervous system.
That's it, really cool. And you know what I really love is that it fits perfectly with what we've been talking about today.
Mhm.
Because before we can change anything, we have to notice it. And sometimes we beat ourselves up because we think we should be doing better. All those coulda, shoulda, woulda things. We think we should be doing better when really we're exhausted, we're disconnected, or maybe creatively burnt out.
Mhm.
So, Jenny and the Joy Feathers Creative Burnout Quiz helps you identify what might actually be going on so you can stop guessing and start taking steps that fit the real situation.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. The reality of things, not the judgments, not the assessments that we have placed on everything. We've stamped it on everything. These kind of yeses and nos and goods and bads and all that. So, yeah, quiz. It's running across the bottom of the screen there too, and there's a QR code: quiz.growyourwholevoice.com. Go ahead and take the quiz, and we'll get happier together with me and my joy feather.
And quizzes are so much fun. They give you a little peek inside your own brain, your own life, your world. Because until you notice, you don't know what's going on. You're just living your life. But when you take the little quizzes, you go, that might be something that's happening in my world.
Yep.
And the thing you got to remember is when we stop judging ourselves, it's a whole lot easier to be ourselves.
Be yourselves. All right. Can I say bye to my joy feather over there in
Absolutely.
Canada? I miss you. I miss you so much.
Yeah.
You're with me in my heart and in the
Sunny's
digital
taking
world.
good care of Joy Feather.
Thank you, Sunny. Thank you, Bonita.
You're welcome.
All right.
And you continue having fun over there playing bus roulette.
Yeah.
Sunny. Happier together.